let's talk to these people.
Waiting for you to say.
We are live. Welcome to Jiaozhan's Den, Friday edition. We're back. We're here. I don't know, players, I forgot to ask you to jump into Twitch. Some of you are in there. If you're not, do you mind jumping in there for me? Do you need the link in the Discord?
I'm on the Twitch. It's just hosting.
Yeah, it's not showing yours.
It should stop right away. There's always that 30-second delay. And I'll change the title while we wait. So we have two new faces here tonight. We have an ongoing regular cast member who's going to be joining us as our Goblin Hunter. And we also have a guest who's joining us for tonight and may drop in from time to time because I've been raving to him about this game for the last month or so. And he wanted to give it a try while he's in town here staying with us. So we are going to pick up where we left off. We're going to have one more member of the party. We're going to have Mornath joining us partway into the stream. So we're going to have a pretty full party. It's going to be the biggest party we've had since our first session, I think. Is that right, fellas?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
I think our first session had 5.
Yeah, we had 5. We had a spellcaster. We had the halfling. And then we lost the 2 of them. Yeah, the other halfling. We lost both of them. And we've been riding on 4 ever since.
Yeah, 4, sometimes 3, depending on who can make it.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride. So let's do a quick recap of it wasn't last week, it was the week before session. Do you guys want to go ahead and jump in and discuss what happened? I can help you by saying we started within that tomb in the Hollows. You were with the dwarves that were looking for Yawim, the dwarf, the self-loathing dwarf who was supposed to be sent back to the dwarf home city due to crimes against dwarfhood for brewing human ale. So you guys decided to assist the 7 dwarves and bring in Yawim.
Well, there was a ghost who thought that Yawim was her baby. And she was not about to let us take him to start with.
Yep.
And then there was a sarcophagus filled with treasure. So we started an encounter because somebody wanted the treasure.
Yeah, who was that?
Yeah, who actually was that?
Yeah,
that was actually Agari. That was
a greedy wolfkin. It was like, oh, treasure?
Oh, Agari.
And things got a little scary there. It was the king, the ghost of the king fighting his queen, and I think the king saved you in the end, didn't he? It was was the reason you survived.
We never dealt any damage to the queen. He dealt it all. And she broke one of us. I believe it was.
Yeah,
I believe it was Rage. Man.
Yeah, immediately did 4 will damage or something like that.
Yeah,
4 wits damage. That was fun.
Yeah, it was rough. I was scared one of you guys were going to drop because Mornath was making a break for the exit the whole time.
Man.
And I don't blame him. He was like,
heroically.
Yeah, hey, bad decisions, guys. I want to live another day.
I was keeping the eye on the prize, moving the dwarf out.
And speak of the devil, here's Mornath. We're just doing a recap of what happened last session. And while we do that, I'm going to move the tokens around on the stream. So go ahead and pick up where we left off there, guys. We just talked about the evil queen and her king, the spirits that were fighting because you guys got greedy and wanted to steal their treasure. What happened after that?
We stole the treasure.
Yes.
We took the treasure. And then we traded the treasure for some armor for my meat shields and a wagon and 2 mules named Baby Gritsnob and Dragon.
Yep. That's a thing. Baby Gritsnob, but it has its nose.
It does.
That was the first thing Gritsnob asked us. Does it have a nose?
We should have really asked for like a noseless donkey.
Oh, yeah, they're mules. They're not even horses.
Yep.
And go ahead.
We built a box for our scepter, which kills you when you use it.
when you hold it. It's not even when you use it.
Yeah.
We're carting around the Ark of the Covenant now.
Yeah,
with us.
you guys
We
have
should
that now.
sell that.
And you have. I made a poor decision and decided to have an NPC that I now have to control tagging along with you. You have a Raven sister in your possession who's following you. The midwife of the town, midwife Nervia. Oh, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. You have the former midwife, who is a Raven sister hiding out in the hollows. She did ask you to kill the Rust brother on your way out, but you decided not to. You decided against it. As much
She took it well.
Yeah, she was like, if you want to, I'm not going to oppose you killing the Rust brother on your way out of the hollows.
Not exactly trying to twist our arm over it, you know.
Mm-hmm. So she also wants you to go to. I have the map now up next to me on the wall because this is a big sprawling journey that we're going on. Arena Forest to the north of where you guys currently were. And you're headed there to meet up with some of her sect to get some further answers regarding these magical items that you've acquired. And have set into motion some terrible, horrible things in the Forbidden Lands. Oh, you heard more about the sorcerer, the evil sorcerer Zygoffer, who is also after that scepter and 3 other ancient relics. Oh, Bert, thank you for the subscription. You're my first subscriber other than myself.
Have my Amazon bits.
Yes, thank you. I'm now an affiliate, so if you guys like the content here, feel free to subscribe. I would be very, very thankful and grateful.
Yeah, when I first started talking to you, I didn't actually see that I could subscribe. Did that happen recently?
It happened like within the last 2 days.
Oh, cool.
It's a thing. Thanks, Bert. So you guys have your goods. You had a really long conversation about strongholds also, and your future strongholds. There was some chat around setting up your stronghold in the Hollows. You decided against that. There was talk about going back to Weatherstone, clearing out the undead, and possibly using that keep as your stronghold. But you guys ultimately decided to press on and think about that and do that another day. So when we left off, you guys were crossing the plains, and you came across an old farmhouse, an old abandoned farmhouse. And there was some creepy stuff in there. Who remembers what was in there? What did you find?
A sock,
A sock.
I think.
Wasn't there? There was. I know it was. I feel like it was old blood, or some things were
right.
destroyed.
Yeah, there
Two
was some.
socks.
No, there were some nefarious things in it, and it wasn't socks, old dirty socks.
Like the
Ooh.
fireplace was full of ash, and there was like bones and
There was
stuff.
bones in the ash, yeah.
Man.
And you decided to spend the night here.
But not in the house.
Well, I
the
thought
night,
everyone else.
the night sister wanted to spend the night in the house.
Oh, I thought she suggested we did not. Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
maybe. I think I remember that she was okay with it, but my recollection could be wrong. It's been 2 weeks. Oh, I forgot to put this out on Twitter. But yeah, so why don't we go ahead? That's the recap. That's where we left off. We're in the house. It's night, so you guys are either camping in the house or outside the house. We'll figure that out. But why don't we go ahead and let's do character introductions. We've got some new people watching tonight. We gained a whole bunch of followers within the last few days. So why don't we do introductions? Let's go left to right on the bottom of Roll20. So we'll start with you, Raydrick. Why don't you do a little introduction of who your character is?
Raydrick is a dwarven fighter. Came to the Forbidden Lands to escape some sordid business in his home, and decided to make his living as a carpenter / adventurer. He is yet to be deceased.
Okay, so before we went live, what did you say you have above your monitor?
Days Until Dead.
Yeah,
sign.
so he's counting down. It's inevitable.
Well, it's more like a piece of paper I write Days Until Dead.
I hope it's for your character, not for you. That would be terrible.
I mean, it could be.
No,
both,
let's
but
not. No,
who
let's
else will
not go-
edit it?
Yeah, let's. It's dark. Don't go there. Awesome. Thank you, Raedric. Next, we've got Mornath.
Yeah, Mornath is a half-elven fighter out here for the kicks. Originally, he was here to protect a cleric looking for some holy site, but that character hasn't showed up again, so now I'm just in it for the kicks.
That's right. Yeah, you guys like had a whole bond that you had like formed, and you were on a mission somewhere in the world, and then that guy never came back.
Cleric got lost.
He abandoned you. He was no, he
And
wasn't
we
a
didn't,
cleric.
didn't feel bad about it, I guess. We just kept going, so...
These are harsh lands. Agari.
Agari is a wolfkin druid who was kicked out of tribe when a coup happened. He's since found the strongest people he could and attached himself to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much Agari. Bazio.
All right. Bazio is a goblin hunter. He is in the Forbidden Lands because that's basically his home. He was raised there by wolves, so he just likes hanging out there mostly and hunting things that are way bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like what he's dressed like, he's basically covered in probably at least a dozen different animal skins, and it makes sort of like this, like, I don't know, just like rustic like bodysuit / outfit of all these sewn together skins and stuff. And he carries a short spear and a short bow.
Right. And finally, we've got Bonham.
DM, can I do my intro like when you guys come across me kind of in game?
Sure, we can do that. So yeah, Bonham and Bazio aren't with you yet, so we can do that. So let's jump into it then. We left off in the cabin. Let's go to the map. Let's go to the world map to remind everybody of where we are. I didn't make. I just took a bigger chunk of map now, and because we're leaving the little area we started in, so let's zoom in there. There's Weatherstone. There's your cart. The cabin you discovered in the... it's not a cabin. It's funny because the other group that was playing this on Tuesday got the same random encounter. I rolled it live, and they rolled a cabin, and you guys rolled an old farm. So that's why I keep calling it a cabin.
Mm.
So you guys are at an old farm. Or did you have a cabin? Now I'm confused. They had an old farm. Super confused. You had a cabin. Two elderly people lived there, died, and you found terrible, horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this. So it's nighttime. You guys traveled for 2 quarter days. So you're at the point now where you want to rest, or you have to press yourselves to move forward. Are you resting inside the cabin or out?
Agari is sleeping in the wagon. He's hanging out with his mule buddies. He has no desire to be in the creepy cabin with the bones.
With the bones.
So Mornath, as part of his watch and just in general, is going to sleep on the roof. So he's got a good field of vision around our camp.
Okay. Nobody
Raedric
wants
is
Raedric, go ahead.
sleeping underneath the wagon.
So nobody wants to sleep in this well, I didn't say haunted. In this cabin.
Well, now you said haunted.
Well, I meant there should be haunted question mark there on the on the map. Haunted? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So who's taking first, second, third watch?
Agari will take first watch.
I'll take second for Mornath.
I'll go third because that's the only
Through
one
process
that's
of
left.
elimination?
Yeah. Plus, also it's alphabetical when you think about it.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. So Mornath, on your watch, you are on top of the coach, and you can see
roof of the cabin.
the roof of the cabin. I'm sorry, the roof of the cabin, and you're kind of squinting, and you can see a shadow or movement in the fields surrounding the cabin itself. Bosio, why don't you go ahead? Do you want to be? This is gonna be you. Are you sneaky? Are you being stealthy? What are you? How are you going about moving out here in the plains in the night?
Pretty much always stealthing if I'm moving, especially at night.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a stealth roll. And Mornith, why don't you go ahead and you're making me a posed roll. So
Sure, what's this based on?
Make me a scouting roll.
Scouting roll. Ooh.
Are you good at that?
No. So it's just wits then. 3. Okay.
Okay, so you swear you see like a glint of something, but you're not too sure. So Bosio, you have the upper hand here, so you can approach them without being seen. You're skulking your prey that you're out there trying to track, and you come across this cabin. You can see a faint light, which looks like a fire. You get a little closer. You see that there's a carriage with horses, with mules. You can see the outlines of some bodies, and you get up nice and close, and you can see that there appears to be a humanoid shape that's awake and kind of moving every once in a while on top of the cabin roof.
All right. Bazio is going to sneak over to where the horses are, and he's going to basically like reveal himself in like sort of a harmless way by kind of walking up and petting their horses.
Okay. Yeah, so you pet the horses, and they let out
sort of wave at them as if I notice anyone.
At the horses or at the guy on the roof?
The guy on the roof.
The guy on the roof like has a faint idea. He saw some movement, and he's not too sure.
All right. Well, is the faint movement moving?
It was, but you lost sight of it. Your one success versus his 2, so you caught like a glint of him, and you're like, "Oh, what happened? What was that?"
Right.
You're not too sure.
I'm
Small
notch an arrow in readiness.
I assume I see that.
Yeah, you see that, and you pet a horse, and it bays and kind of clumps its foot down as you do so. It appreciated it. It liked that.
All right, well, I'm gonna. Well, there. Well, no need to knock the arrow. I'm just wandering through the forest hunting, and I noticed your light. And I just sort of step out, like, and then waving my arms around.
Don't we have a bounty on goblin ears?
You do in the hollows for the Rust Brother.
Oh, shit.
Well, this is interesting.
Where's Gritsnow?
It's the provoker.
There is a bounty, yes, on goblin ears in the area surrounding the hollows.
That's so far away, though.
It is.
But if we
that makes every ear count.
Hello up there.
All right. Move away from the horses, please. Step into the light.
Oh yes, gladly.
So you step towards the dwindling campfire. With this, there's enough noise. You've got Mornith, who's kind of, you're not yelling, but you're shouting down. So the others, you've now stirred. Agari and Raedric. You've stirred, and you wake up, and one of you is inside the cabin, right? Or inside the cart, and one of you is under the cart?
Yes. I am under the cart, where no one can reach me.
There's an important bit of description that you have to tell us. Does he have both his ears?
Bosio, do you have both your ears?
Yeah, and they're both like pierced a few times. Got some nice silver jewelry on.
So he's got both ears, and he got some holes in them. Yeah. So, Raedric, being under the coach, you've got clear view of this like little goblin who's standing there like next to the horses. And what do you have your arms up, Bosio, and you're kind of like, oh, don't shoot, don't shoot.
Yeah, I'm short, so I got to make myself a little taller so people notice me.
So you've got clear view of this goblin who's pleading with Mornith. And you can hear this inside of the coach, Agari. I don't know if you spring out or what you want to do. Make your entrance.
I feel like Mornath and I, or no, it's Raedric that's under the coach.
Yeah, Raedric's under the coach.
I have my sword pointing at him from underneath the coach.
My goodness. Agari's gonna stick his head out of the wagon, but just his head.
Okay.
And quiet out there. I need my beauty sleep, boys.
So,
My apologies.
Bosio, you catch a glimpse of a wolfkin, which particularly interests you, being raised by wolves and all.
Was he the one telling me to shut up?
Yes, he was the one who's saying, I need my beauty sleep.
I'm gonna immediately just stop talking and like wait until I can get close enough to someone to have a quieter conversation. I will approach the the edge of the roof, or I guess the edge of the house.
Yeah, the
cabin. Where I can get closer. Yeah, the cabin. Yeah, so where I can get closer to the scout.
So he's got his hands up and he's moving closer to you, Mornith.
Right. So yeah, I'm keeping him within arrow's view and calling out for everyone else to get up. It's like, hey, visitors.
All right.
A visitor, to be precise, but just me. No one else
There
with
could
me.
be more of them out there.
There isn't.
I got him covered from underneath here.
So you hear a voice now from underneath the coach that you weren't aware of, Bosio. You see like a sword just kind of poking out from between the spokes of the wheels.
My character like kind of glances over it, and he doesn't really have to bend down to see, so he just sort of chuckles. Well, do you mind if I sit by the fire?
Agari comes out at this point. Let him sit. Let him sit. Goblin, what's your name?
Well, my true kin called me. But the human people call me Bosio.
I am definitely scouting the surroundings for more of these guys.
Yeah, you're scanning the area and you're not seeing really anything else going on. There's no other movement or anything.
You have fantastic fur.
Agari looks down at the goblin in shock. I've never seen someone else speak the ancient tongues before.
Yes, I was taught when I was a young pup.
Is he coming on to you?
No. It's a sign of respect. He is the alpha male.
At least somebody recognizes it.
We will make sure the rest of them recognize it by the end of this day, good sir.
That sounds like a threat.
I'm going back to bed.
Brother Bear,
meant
thank you
in
for
a
the follow.
persuasive manner.
Yeah, Agari shouts out, but more than just let him stay. He seems rather fond of me. At least someone appreciates me around here. All the work I do, you'd all be dead if it weren't for me.
Exactly.
You don't know that!
I just know that the Wolfkin are a strong breed.
He's playing to your pride, Agari.
Yes,
like, let this guy
yes.
stay. I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, you need some food or water, little boy?
Oh, I have my own. I just need some fire. Ran out of torches yesterday.
I shout back up at Mornath. Listen, let him. Worst comes to worst. You know, if a ghost pops out, the ghost sees the goblin first. Let him be.
Get
Yeah, I
ghosts.
will release the draw on my arrow and just nod.
What did you mention? You mentioned ghosts?
Yeah, this place is haunted.
Well, shit. I will stay out here by the fire. I can see.
All right. So,
I'm just gonna start roasting some meat.
yeah, you pull some meat out of your
Yeah, it's like some
sack.
deer or something.
Oh,
cookie.
you're talking. I thought you were talking about the goblin. Like, wait, whoa, we don't want to say that in front of him.
start cooking some venison. Mornith, you're not too convinced. You're up there on the roof watching this guy like, what are we doing? Why are we there's a bounty on goblin ears. Why are we letting this thing stay here?
That's money on his head right
Yeah,
there.
right.
That's money.
But
He's got a head full of money.
so Gary, do you head back inside and go back to sleep? And Raedric, do you eventually kind of settle down and go back to sleep?
Yeah, I'm. You know, I mean, we've already got watches set up. If the goblin tries anything, we've got people who are going to be awake
Yeah.
if it happens. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see me start rummaging through my little bearskin pack, and I like pull out all of these little jars of spices and start like kind of dry rubbing the. I have no intention to clearly. I'm trying to make a good meal here. I'm not trying to betray you, obviously.
good stuff.
All
I'm
right.
telling you, I have plenty for everyone.
Yeah, there you go. You guys need a good cook, don't you? Didn't you get some meat one of the last sessions?
One of them, I feel like it was a while ago. I mean, I think I have chef actually. We just I've never come across the need to cook anything.
We haven't, because we haven't gone on a long journey like we are now.
Also, we're technically made out of meat.
Yes.
Just saying.
To be clear, I'm not actually good at cooking. The meat always turns out burnt. I
Oh,
just
good.
have spices.
Good stuff.
All right, so you guys calm down to the new arrival in your camp. Mornith, the rest of your shift goes without anything going on. You watch this little goblin cover his meat in spices and cook it and burn it and kind of eat it, and is unimpressed with it, but continues to eat it. And he motions up to you on the roof and offers you some, and you turn him down. And you hop down off the roof for your watch and wake up Raedric for final watch. Raedric, where do you want to do your watch?
I'm gonna do it from next to the cart.
Okay, next to the cart, watching the goblin.
Pretty much. Got my hand on my sword hand
Who's this guy? I don't
the
trust
entire
him.
time.
So the rest of your watch goes by uneventful, and dawn breaks, and the other two wake up. Your goblin caught a little bit of sleep in between showing up in the middle of the night and dawn now. Did anybody have any damage that they had? Because that would be healed now.
I do have a small
Yeah.
tent.
Probably.
If anyone
so-
wants to sleep next to me.
Fantastic.
Okay. So that puts us back on the road. So we're gonna go back to our leading the way and scouting. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
So who is our leading the way guy?
That would be me.
So go ahead and make me survival roll.
Survive that a bull.
Do you want to push it?
Oh yeah.
Get
We're
yourself
gonna-
a
we're gonna
willpower?
fix it. Right. I got to adjust the dice pool.
Yeah, you just have to
right?
reduce your attribute die by 1. Or dice.
Okay.
Dice. Plural. Alright. You are successful. And give yourself 1 willpower point.
And 1 damage to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I want to do.
and who's our scout or keep watch guy?
I am not probably to be trusted yet, but I will mention that I do have a spyglass and 1 rank in scouting, and I also get bonuses versus ambushes and stuff when I'm trying to scout.
I mean,
Hey,
as
you
long
live
as
here. You'll either lead us right or lead us into a trap. Either way, win.
Right into a
Either way, you're
tribe
dead.
where there's many more heads with goblin money on them.
Exactly.
as long as he keeps talking me up, I trust him completely.
So, yeah, if you're going to do the scouting roll, Bazio, give yourself, on top of your attribute dice and your skill dice, I'll give you 1 gear die for that spyglass.
Excellent. So it says +2 at long range, so you're just giving me a lower bonus because it's at a shorter.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. I was just making sure where it was coming from. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit roll then. Dang. I love you guys.
Well,
Do you want
I'm
to
a
push
valuable asset.
it? Do you wanna
Yes, I
push-
would love to.
If you push it, though,
Thanks.
remember, you're going to break your spyglass.
That was like 3 gold.
Risk it. We can take whatever comes. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay,
I'll take
yeah.
the broken
Oh, there's-
spyglass.
You're so cocky, you guys.
We'll be
We can
okay.
take on whatever appears. All
There's
right.
plenty of us here today.
So,
I died twice.
Come on now,
almost.
Matt's been
So I don't
blooded.
care.
He's killed characters. in
yeah,
other
I
games.
killed someone
He's
this
got a
week
taste for-
in this game. Yeah, I gotta continue that trend. Marna suggested that I start having like X's at the bottom or skulls at the bottom of the stream. That's my kill count. We have to do that
That'd
as
be
a
pretty
thing.
neat.
All right. Well, okay, then we'll do that. Or I'll put a leg at the bottom because I severed a leg. So, Agari, you're on the coach, and you're doing your best. You found a trail. You're riding it. There's no problems, no issues. You're able to keep on target. You're using the sun and everything else to go, and you're like, "Yep, we're going right for Rana Forest. This is the most direct way to go." We've got Bazio, who's out looking around. He's got a spyglass. He's hopping up on rocks and like shimmying up trees and looking around. And he grew up with wolves in the the wild, so he's pretty at one of the forest. But he doesn't notice. And we're gonna go to Bonham. How are you going to surprise him? What are you gonna do? Are you beating your drum? What are you doing? Because you're gonna surprise him.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe he just kind of misses. Like he probably hears the vibrations, but he doesn't necessarily hear the drums. But yeah, there's a sick little drum beat going on in the distance for sure.
So you hear some drumming
Man.
really close to you. You're like, I did not expect this.
I'm gonna just try and I'm gonna immediately hide in the nearest bush, and then I'm gonna like sort of put my head on a swivel and just sort of look around above the top of the bush and try and figure out where it's coming from.
So because you failed your scouting roll, I'm gonna say like you hop to the bushes, but like to Bonham, you're like in clear view. He's just kind of, I don't know, if you're walking down the road, Bonham, and you see this little goblin hop into the bushes and pretend he thinks he's hiding, and you can clearly see his little goblin face staring at you.
Yeah, so I step my game up, and you should start hearing like a more intricate drum beat. Starts getting louder. Maybe the rest of the party can kind of hear it, but it starts getting real. It's like,
He's got a whole kit.
Man.
and
All right,
and Bazio, you would see like all you can kind of see is like the drum is mostly like hiding most of like the halfling, if you will. Like this drum is almost the size of the half.
All you see is a drum and little arms.
Is this like one of those like marching drums with like a giant sideways thing? You're hitting the sides, or what kind are we talking about here?
Yeah, oh yeah. You can march with it, but this drum itself, I'll just describe the drum. It has like its own like kind of footstool on it. So when he really wants to get down, he jumps up on the footstool to kind of get more control of the drums, and he can go really.
Solid.
So, Bazio was scouting ahead. You guys in the cart are now at this point coming up on it. You can hear the drumming clearly, and you're getting a little bit further up the road, and you see this like this drum lying in the road, and just kind of like this furious beating of like something on it, because it's a giant drum, like the size of the being itself that's hitting it. You can't quite make out as you're slowly approaching what's going on, and you can clearly see Bosio sitting in the bushes, not hidden whatsoever.
Well, as we approach, Agari pulls out his lyre, and then he ups the tempo. He matches the beat and ups the tempo.
Oh, do you want to do a performance roll?
Sure.
I would
You guys wanna
definitely. Bazio would like to do one as well because he's probably about to start dancing.
We're gonna do a little duet here. We're gonna break into song and dance. Why not? It's good times. Let's do it.
Oh, nice. What I would say is like probably Bonham would want to, like, part of his pride is that he tries to like always kind of one up people. So I think what I'd like to do, is like another performance role to kind of like just take it up even another notch.
So go ahead and make a performance roll to start. Agari's like, he's jumped in there. He's found that beat, and you hear, what is it? You got a lyre?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he's just like jamming with you to the beat like perfectly, and you're like, all of a sudden your head pops up and swivels around, like, where's this coming from? Because you're like you saw the goblin, and all of a sudden like this cart comes up behind you.
So this is a thing now. This is a thing now.
You guys are now a traveling band, literally.
So Mornith will start beatboxing.
Yeah, Bazio is definitely just like moshing with some trees right now.
So Bonham, you're kind of like taken aback. You weren't expecting this coach to come up on you, and you kind of slip up on your beats a bit. If you want to, you could spend your pride here. I don't know if you want to, just to kind of like one up the lyre that is being played.
Push it.
I want to actually push here. Can I push?
Yeah, you can push.
So
So you would take away one of the attribute dice. The skill dice never go down, but you would take away one of your attribute dice and reroll. So it'd be 4 and 3.
How do I do that on the character sheet?
So you got the die roller in the middle there. I'm gonna jump on your character sheet for you.
Oh, I just go from 3 to 2.
You go from 5 to 4 on your attribute score. So I changed it for you. So just go ahead and roll.
Thank you.
So you take 2 points of damage to your, what is it, empathy?
Yeah.
For performance. So your empathy drops from a 5 to a 3.
Oof.
But you have 2 willpower now.
Oh, perfect.
I clicked it on your character sheet for you. And you're able to keep up a bit better here. So you turn around, you see him, and you're kind of thrown off at first, and then you're just like, you just nod, and you're like, yep, this is happening. And the two of you start playing. Bosio, you cannot keep up to the beat. You're just kind of like all over the place. But you feel you're doing well. Do you want to push your dancing roll?
Oh no.
No? Okay. So this happens now. So we'll say you have a little musical interlude. There's a moment between Agari and Bonham. Agari's just like making friends like crazy out here in the last like quarter day. And Raedric and Mornith are like, what is going on here? Like, what is this? Do we just walk into like a Disney musical scene number? What is this? And it ends, and you guys are all just kind of standing around now in the road.
I'm just like breathing very heavily from like having my own mosh pit. Well, that was incredibly fun.
So I think Bonham kind of got upstaged a little bit there. So I think like he's kind of thinking like, you know what, I might be able to learn some musical ability here from Agari. So he'd probably reach out to the party and be like, you know what, fellas, you know, I want to work on my game a little bit. You mind if I tag a?
As long as you keep up those sick beats.
Agari looks at Mornath and Raedric, and he says, "How do you feel about another goblin joining us? Twice as many years."
He's a halfling.
Whoa.
Eventually, we'll be able to harvest those
Okay,
ears.
he is far too ugly to be a goblin. No offense, your music Your musical abilities are, impressive.
Yeah, Bonham, you hear this wolfkin call you a goblin.
I'm like, did a goblin just call me ugly? Oh my god!
It's those feet. They're so disgusting.
I'll play your face next. You better watch yourself.
We're on our way somewhere, aren't we?
Yeah.
Stone Keep or something along those lines. I think is the name of the town.
That was
technically.
the dwarven town. You're not heading to the dwarven
Oh, wait, right,
town.
yeah, we're
You're
going to the
go
Arena
see
Forest.
the Raven Sisters.
Yeah, we're going to see the Raven Sisters. I hope they have fucking.
Magdalia?
I do have one question. Have any of you seen any giant lizards running around that shoot lightning out of their mouths and spikes out of their noses?
It's fucking terrifying.
What?
It's a giant lizard that shoots lightning out of his mouth and spikes out of his nose. I'm hunting this particular beast right now,
Why?
so I can mount its head.
Where?
Whenever I buy a cabin.
I mean, we just left a cabin, I guess.
Well, I can steal that one.
You can't. You can't steal a cabin.
I could try.
Bonham nods his head.
I'm
He's
going
like,
back to bed.
Taxidermy. I can respect.
Yes. You understand the art. Well, I guess you haven't heard anything.
Our guy says, no. But as for both of you, as long as you can carry your own weight, I could always use more shields.
Shield? I don't actually own a shield.
Something like that. Onward, boys.
So yeah, you guys gain another body within the last quarter day, and you've grown from a quartet to I don't know, what are you, a synctet? I guess we're counting Gritsnob. He is here in so there's 6 of you now.
He's just shocked to silence.
I
Yes.
assume he's still asleep in the back of the
Yeah,
wagon.
he's
just
sleeping
like-
off his injuries, hoping his nose will grow back.
Will it?
No. No, don't be silly. That's silly talk. So let's move you guys over a couple squares. And that's 1 quarter day. And let's do the rolls over again for travel. We'll zoom out here a little bit more. You guys are... Ooh, that forest is getting close. All right, so Agari, you're great. You're fine for finding a trail or a path. And our goblin's going to do some scouting.
+1 still?
Yes. You're successful. It's all that matters. So, bear with me. We still on plains? Oh, we're still on plains. We need some new terrain. Slowly getting there.
I mean, we're going to a forest.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
If I wanted to scout at long range, could I? Well, how does that work?
Yeah, I'm just kind of doing it on the fly here. We haven't really had any with spyglass, but yeah, you could.
Okay, so it's just 1 extra hex over? Or
Yeah, essentially.
I'll wait to do that.
Where
We're still
is-
in the plains. I might want to do it now.
Yeah, go for it. Throw another skill die in there.
Okay, so basically I'm scouting out in a radius around us, or am I scouting, or am I going to select
You're
a
scouting
specific hex?
the 2 hexes in front of you. So you're always moving 2 hexes at a time, like at least on this terrain.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna roll some rolls here. I'm gonna do some
Alright.
rolls.
All right, so basically I want to scout in the immediate area first, and then I want to head out a bit and try and climb a hill or a tree or something, and then do a long-range scout.
Yeah,
after.
that sounds good to me.
And I failed the long-range one.
Okay.
It didn't botch, but
All right, what do we got here? We're on planes.
Mm-hmm.
We
I like-
have. You like what?
I like how we're on planes.
I rolled
It
something.
makes it.
I rolled something we already had.
No.
The
God.
great the what was his name? The great
Oh
insulter. Remember
God,
that
he's
guy
back.
who
Fuck.
flung his feces at you and said he was the reason that the blood mist was gone by causing rage. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled him again, so that's not happening.
Good.
Um,
Dead.
so you notice before it comes up on you, Bazio, this time you spot this up ahead, and they don't know you're there, but you hear like a guttural song, and the sound of drums beating out of rhythm. Then you spot a group of orcs walking in a chaotic procession, singing a hymn. In the middle of the group, two of the orcs carry a huge wooden stick, where a trussed-up orc hangs dangling helpless. They're marching down the middle of the road, this procession, and they're heading towards your group and the wagon.
okay. How far am I away?
I'm gonna say you're
Like-
like 30 feet.
Okay, so I can. That's within my short bow range, obviously.
Yeah, and they're unaware of you.
Okay,
They're-
I want. Okay, go ahead.
There's 12 of them.
Okay, I want to shoot like way over them and try and like hit like some gravel or something that'll make a bit of noise, like way on the other side of them from where we're at, and then I want to sneak back.
To the group.
Yeah, sneak back to the group to let them know that there are orcs.
Okay.
Actually, no, what? Instead, I'm just gonna sneak back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can. I'm not gonna make you roll because they're unaware of you. You were successful on your spot roll and all that stuff. So you make your way back to the group and you fill them in on what you see up ahead, heading their way.
I do have one question about spending willpower points. It says here that because I'm a goblin, when rolling for stealth, I can spend willpower points and get an automatic success.
For what? Sorry, on anything, or is it something specific?
When rolling for stealth, you can spend willpower
Oh, for
points,
stealth.
which are automatically turned into extra.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear the word stealth. Yeah, but I'm not going to make you roll a stealth roll here. You were successful in spotting them before they spotted you, so I'm not going to.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Could you just explain to me how that works later when the time comes?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next time I roll stealth, just let me know how that works.
You can burn a willpower point to give yourself an extra dice, or an extra die, I should say.
Well, that one's not a die.
Oh, which one?
That one's
what was
it's an automatic success.
Oh,
It's a
even
dice.
better. It's an automatic 6.
How many willpower do I have?
Have you pushed and taken any damage yet?
Oh, okay, that's right. I remember.
You
Sorry.
have
Sorry.
you have. I think you have none. I think. I don't know. Was it just Bonham who gained willpower so far? If you push, take damage, then you'll gain some willpower.
Okay, I pushed earlier to do a stealth check. Or no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Never mind.
No, I don't think you did. That's okay. It's all good. We're learning the game. It's first session. It's all good.
Learning is
Exactly.
power.
Learning is power. It's all good. Okay, so yeah, you sneak back to the guys there at the wagon.
We have a dozen or so orcs marching down the road, muttering something under their breath.
Were they friendly?
Oh, likely not.
You guys can start to hear now the drumming getting
Seems to be a
closer,
bit- It seems like a war band.
and this singing out of tune with the drum. This piques your interest, Bonham. You're like, oh.
Well, are we going to get off the road and hide, or are we going to make a stand, boys?
Devote hiding. There's 12 of them. At least.
And they're orcs.
They are orcs.
We've seen what one orc can do.
Kill a Death Knight? Well, with the help of his friends, but still.
No need to aggravate them. Let's get off the road and see what they're up to.
Agreed. Can the wagon get off the road easily?
You're on the plains. You could take it off the road. It's like a grassy sort of terrain on the sides of the road. There aren't a lot of trees to hide the wagon in.
That's okay. I feel like if we just go far enough away that it would be like a too much of an inconvenience for them to
Just
like,
off-road
bother
it
with
for a
us.
while?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just it'll be fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
So yeah, there's nothing, no patch of trees or bushes that we can hide the.
Not
thing
enough for
behind.
the horses in the wagon. Some of you guys could duck behind some trees and bushes and such if you'd like to stay closer to the road while Agari starts to ride away with the wagon.
No, I'm actually gonna just stuff myself inside the wagon.
So Agari, you just whoosh, crack the whips and you start off-roading it. You start heading, you're hitting rough terrain. It's not level. The wagon's just shaking. The horses are doing their best to avoid like little ruts and rocks and stones. So they're not traveling too fast. This thing's hitting the odd rock and bumping up and down. As you're, we'll say maybe 15 feet away from the road, the orcs are like, and then all of a sudden the drumming stops and the singing stops and you get, and they kind of start grunting and stuff, and you turn around and you see them pointing at you, the dozen orcs with this. And you see now what Bazio hadn't mentioned, that they have, it looks like an orc strung up on a large wooden stick, trussed up, and he's dangling helpless in the middle of the group.
Yeah, that's just normal stuff.
That's normal orc stuff.
Man.
So they're kind of
Okay.
pointing and shouting right now in the road, and you see two of them kind of shouting at each other. It looks like the guy at the front, he looks semi-important. He's dressed differently than the other orcs, and him and another one are kind of shouting at one another right now and pointing at you guys.
Man.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'd like to do is basically they were kind of playing a specific orcish beat as they came down.
Yes.
To play that beat back to them.
All right.
Note for note to kind of like make them think, maybe these guys are down with the orc tribe.
Yeah. As soon as he does that, I'm just gonna dance on the back of the carriage.
And I kind of look at Agari and I'm like, all right, man, we got this. Let's fucking lay it down.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
notching an arrow here. Notching an arrow.
All right. So,
Yeah.
Bazio, you start just dancing like crazy. You hop up on the roof of this of your wagon and just start giving her and dancing.
I'm basically just like shaking my fists wildly and head banging.
Man.
Go
You
ahead
want a
and make me a
performance roll
performance roll. Yeah. Oh, so you caught the beats, and you're like sitting there, and you're like, oh man, this thing's off time. This is weird, but I've heard this before. I can do this. And you start doom, and you start to like slowly get the beat. You get the rhythm, a little off, and you see them kind of like and they shout back, and then you boom, 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 and you get it. And then their drummer, who's got the drum hanging around him like a marching drummer's drum, starts beating back the same beat.
Oh yeah. I'm laying it down. I'm making eye contact with these guys. Actually, wait, no, I'm not making eye contact because I can't see over the top of my drums. So they're kind of probably like, is this some sort of mystical drum?
It's a magic drum playing itself.
Yeah, and it's just playing this orcish beat, and we go back and forth, and we're laying it down. And it probably sounds like shit to everyone else, though.
Oh yeah, it sounds terrible.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
completely off time. There is like no rhythm to it whatsoever. But suddenly one of the orcs that looks like the lead one, the Mucky Muck orc, holds his hand up and he puts his fist out to you as like a sign like solidarity, and they keep marching on down the road
Jesus Christ.
and leave you guys be. They keep going. You guys kind of just sit there in disbelief. You're like, what just happened?
My apologies for the paranoia. It's just the last time I encountered a group of orcs. They stole my prey.
You know, I'm flabbergasted. That's. Let's just get back on the road.
And Bonham kind of drops a little line. He's like, "The drum is mightier than the sword."
And then I just never mind. You see me raise my spear up at the drum and then just sort of shake my.
As we're getting back on the road, I turn to Mornath and I say, "I told you the goblins would be useful."
The goblins, plural.
He's clearly not a goblin. You're a green bunch.
So we're at the point now in travel where you need to decide if you want to stop and rest for a quarter day or keep going and possibly take some damage. Because you can move 2 quarter days without having to stop.
I thought just like a midday rest, if that's what you're.
Yeah.
You know, I'd kind of like to push through personally. What do you guys think?
Well, who said that?
That's
Agari.
Agari.
Okay, yeah. If your character suggests that, I immediately change my stance.
So what it does is you all have to make an endurance roll. Failure means you suffer 1 point of damage to agility, and you're unable to hike during the quarter day. Instead, you automatically fail and you have to rest.
Hmm.
Now,
So
if
we
some of
all
you...
have to make the
No,
endurance
so here's
roll?
the thing. If some of you pass, you can choose to leave the stragglers behind and split the group.
Hmm. How does that work if we're in a wagon?
That is a great question, and I was thinking the exact same thing.
I feel like my mules.
Just dump your
I feel
ass
like
on the
my-
side of the road. That's how that happens.
Well, I feel like my mules should be making the endurance roll for me. You know, because I'm not walking.
Oh, here we go. A forced march. This is all new because we haven't had mounts before. A forced march is also possible while riding. Roll just like you would above, but use your animal handling and the animal's strength. If the roll fails, the animal goes lame. It cannot continue, and another successful animal handling roll is required for the animal to recover and be able to travel the next day. If the roll fails, there are no options other than to put it down. Oh!
Are there?
Wow.
Whoa,
Are there-
that's harsh.
Is there room for me to sit up front so
Mhm.
I can? Because I have had 2 ranks in animal handling.
He was raised by wolves.
I mean, yeah, there's a whole. I mean, but what does everyone think? Raydrick, Mornath, what are you guys' votes? Bonham?
As we have a destination we know we're trying to reach, I mean, pushing it is kind of foolhardy. We may need to be well rested at the end of it. I mean, who knows what we'll be going into.
These grave ancestors could all just literally be like a giant like ball of scorpions for all we know.
Fair enough. All
Animal
right.
handling
Well,
and the animal's strength. Okay.
Well, Bonham would jump in though, real quick. Like the blood mists are they're a harsh mistress. It'd be foolhardy to continue on. Plus, this fucking drum is super heavy. So, like, why don't we just chill for a bit?
all right. Well, sounds like votes are for resting. So
Yeah.
Okay, so the mule's strength is a 4.
Hmm.
So you'd roll your animal handling. Who's making the roll? Is it
well,
We're
we're not pushing it.
Oh, you're just gonna rest. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was 3 to 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was getting excited we got to kill a horse here. Alright. Never mind.
Democracy.
Getting ahead of myself here, killing horses.
It would have been
Democracy.
Baby
No
Grit
dead
Snob.
horses.
Hey, tabletop to keyboard. Thanks for dropping by. Always good to have you here.
The DM's getting thirsty.
Yeah, I
Those
almost killed a
kills.
horse. I killed a player on Tuesday and almost killed a horse tonight. Well, I wanted to, but they're not letting me. Okay, so you guys rest. That's fine. That's all good. Let me roll here. Yeah, anything happen on your old watch? Nope. You guys rest. You're all good. Any damage to any of your stats you get back. So Bonham, you had 2 points of damage to your endurance. You get that all back. And anybody else who had damage.
Good stuff.
I put it back, or to your empathy. I put it back to for you there, Bonham.
Thanks.
And you guys carry on. R.I.P. Ellie. Never forget. Yeah. I was saying, so we were saying I gotta have like little skulls down at the bottom of the overlay now for everybody who dies. But I was saying for Ellie, we should put like a little leg to remember her by.
Oh my god. Was it the wild halfling that lost their leg?
It was the wild halfling. Lost her leg to the man scorpion lion. I kept calling him man bear pig. The man scorpion lion creature.
Man.
The wild halfling went down. Okay, so let's make these rolls one more time. Lead the way in scouting.
Give me 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, one of my followers online on Facebook was just like, I just lost it at the ancient tongue thing.
Okay. All right, so you're all good with that.
Yeah.
So you could push this and possibly gain some willpower. This is your chance to gain some willpower. Well, any roll is.
All right, so what do I do exactly in pushing?
Just hit the push button on your character sheet.
It says, "Did you adjust the dice pool?"
Yes. You don't have to take any away for this roll. Okay. So take 1 point of damage to the attribute that you were rolling. I don't know what it was. It was tied to scouting. Off the top of my head. Wits. So take 1 die off of your wits. And give yourself 1 willpower.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. You now have your first willpower.
Woohoo!
How does it feel?
I'm about to stealth something. That's all I know.
It's all these doubles on these D66s. I think it's broken.
I don't know.
Oh no, they what? Sorry?
I was just gonna say they use a true random generator on like a separate server and stuff. So it should be good.
Really?
Yeah, Roll20 does. Yeah.
So you guys are coming up the road, and in the road you see a large group of birds, blackbirds. It looks like ravens, pecking away and feasting on something on the side of the road.
Ooh.
I am gonna run up and scare them away. I'm gonna start off by slinging a bullet in that direction.
Be nice if your spyglass still worked.
But it should still work.
It should. Do you want to look through your spyglass?
No, I'm just gonna run up, sling a bullet down there, and scare the birds away. You just said they're birds, right?
Yeah, it's
We
just
got a
bird.
Raven sister with us. Let's find out what she says about this.
I'm
You know
just trying.
about birds, right? Raven sister and all.
Yeah, you
I don't know anything about that shit.
The goblin just takes off, but you turn to the raven sister and she goes, "Oh,
Ah!
yes, I do. I don't. It looks like death in the road. Do we want to? Oh, the little one has ran off towards it." And yeah, Fazio just takes off. The birds scatter as you sling a rock towards it and get close. As you get close, you see this like mass. It looks like a humanoid. It looks like a man, elf. You don't know. It's the size of like a human, but you don't know the race. It could be half elf, elf, man. And you get closer to it, and you see like bits and pieces and scraps of cloth hanging off of it, as well as like metal chains and armor. Now, you weren't in the previous editions, but you're from the Bloodlands, the Forbidden Lands. This looks mysteriously like a Rust Brother, based off of these big, heavy iron chains hanging off of him, and the armor and the markings on the tapestry. And this body is just like on the ground. It's been subject to birds and animals and all kinds of creatures that have pecked away at it. But it's like contorted and twisted into like just this terrible, horrible shape.
All right. Yeah, that's not edible, I don't think. So
When
I'm gonna wait for the others to get over here, and I'm just gonna kind of peek around at the body in the meantime.
Yeah, you're peeking in the body, and you see hanging around its neck. You clearly see a simple bronze medallion with the sigil of the Rust Brothers, cementing that this was once a Rust Brother, now lying dead on the side of the road.
as we passed it, Agari told everyone, "Nobody touch him."
Who's got a
Leave
thing
them-
against the Rust Brothers? Somebody does. Oh, maybe, that's somebody's dark secret. I think I won't reveal who because I think I know who it is.
Uh-oh. Almost spilled the beans.
Mm-mm.
Bonham actually spits on the.
Oh yeah, as he come by, Bond just.
Good fucking riddance.
Why shouldn't I touch him? He's got a necklace on. I could possibly sell it.
If you're caught with the Rust Brother necklace, the moment a Rust Brother sees you with it, they'll kill you.
So-
Put it in my pocket.
So Bosio.
Uh,
Because you I don't know how much you know of the lore of this land, but the Rust Brothers are kind of
Nothing.
like the law and order of this land, but they're also like they're like a fanatical order. They're like the Knights Templar, and they're just kind of like the law in a lawless land, but they're also like a bizarre sect that has all kinds of rumors and things swirling around them. That people you don't really know what's going on with them. They put on this forward face of being good people and this and that, but there's also all sorts of rumors and terrible things said about them and what they do and how they gain their powers.
Okay. Well then, what type of metal is it? The medallion?
It's bronze.
Ooh, I'm just gonna melt it down in like a pot, like a campfire or something. Or like make a forge, or I don't know. I'll find a way to melt it. I'm just gonna put it in my pocket.
Yeah, you grab it.
And anything else of value?
Okay. You grab it and you all of a sudden you get this like chill over you. You feel all of a sudden you burn up and you feel like a fever take hold.
I immediately drop it if I can.
Yeah, you drop to the ground, but you feel like this infection has latched onto you.
I don't feel so great after holding that damn thing. Maybe it wasn't worth it after all.
You
Should have
start-
listened to you, sir.
Yeah, you kind of start
Probably.
coughing and you're sweating and you're just like really, really warm and you got like flu-like symptoms and you just kind of feel terrible. You're really thirsty all of a sudden. You're kind of seeing double. You look over at Bonham and you see, instead of the little halfling with the drum, you see a vision of, what was it that you hunted in your earlier years? What did you hunt?
Oh, me?
Yeah, in your formative years, you hunted something and it hunted you back. What was it?
Oh, man. Is there some sort of large four-legged monster or something? Or was that the lizard we were talking about earlier?
It's not the lizard. Whatever. We kind of talked about like whatever it is. Maybe we'll say like a big, large, like cave bear or dire bear. You see,
Okay.
kind of like,
Yeah.
and you're just like you close your eyes and you shake your head and you look and and it's gone. But you swore you saw this giant bear standing where Bonham was, and you're like that. You look up the sky and it's all like colored and swirling, and you're hallucinating. You're seeing things all around you. And you're not sure if they're there or not.
Something's wrong. Help! I need to lie down. Please, Mr. Dwarf, make room.
I
Nerva,
nod to you,
Nerva,
pull
any
out
idea
my
what's wrong with
small
this dude?
knife and start sharpening it to harvest ears.
I just like lay down right next to the dwarf, like uncomfortably close, and just sort of shivering in the fetal position.
Yeah, let's get Nerva to take a look at this dude.
Yeah, so
Nerva,
the Night Sister, you asked the
any
Night
idea?
Sister, or the Raven Sister, I'm sorry, not the Night Sister. The Raven Sister, she comes over and takes a look, and she looks him over, and she's careful not to touch him. She takes out her little pouch of bones and rocks and shakes them in her hand and throws them down on the ground. She looks, and she throws them next to the goblin, and she goes, he's been infected by a demonic virus. There's nothing we can do for him but let it run its course.
So, question.
Yes.
My druid's spell that's specifically to heal sickness or poison will not work.
Oh, let's take a look. What spell is that? That's
Nature's Cure.
Nature's Cure. Let me look it up.
I've been playing for like 17, 18 years, and of course I'm just like, oh, let me get this necklace real quick. It's probably not cursed.
I'm surprised you grabbed it. That's all right.
It's okay.
It's
I
not-
was in character.
It's not cursed. It's the corpse itself is infected with something. Nature's Curse. Whereabouts is that?
Nature's Cure. It is on page 123.
Nature's curse is much different.
Nature's Cure. Yes. Yeah, you could use this. So, it is a rating of 3. That is specifically written for this thing. So you would have to cast it at a power level 3.
All right. Well, I guess I will spend all 3 of my willpower. Which means
Sorry.
no, that is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to use my willpower for today.
I can help you get more. I'll put us in another dangerous situation.
Don't.
All right.
Okay.
So there we
Seriously,
go. And it overcharges 1, which doesn't end up mattering.
So Gary, what does that look like when you go over and start?
Oh
Chanting.
snap. Dang it, I messed up. I could have only used 1. Because it must be equal to or higher than the potency rating divided by 3.
Divide by 3. Oh.
Because I misread that, could I?
Reroll.
All right.
That's the rule of this channel. If we mess up on a roll, we re-roll. Whether it's good or bad or whatever, we re-roll if we messed up.
I just, knowing that I don't have to spend all my willpower,
No, I'm fine with that.
and nothing happens.
Nope,
other
nothing
than
happens.
the healing.
You go over and you attempt, but you're like, this virus is beyond.
No. That still works. The roll is just to see if I have a magical mishap or it overcharges.
Got you. So it didn't overcharge, and you didn't get a 1, so there's no mishap. So, but you do cure him of this virus then?
I do. I go over to him, and I
I'm a wolf.
smell him.
I'm a wolf. Is that you?
And I turn around and I look at the others, and I ask them not to look. And I gather up some herbs, and I mark those herbs before rubbing them under his nose, and the smell of my marking and the herbs cleanses his spirit of the virus.
What an incredible musk!
Yeah, Bonham totally looks, and he was like,
Right. So, Bazio, you feel all of a sudden the disease like leave your body, this virus leave. I'm gonna say this is a demonic virus. So you see like almost like red smoke or mist come out of your nostril and dissipate, and it's like a skull kind of shape and just dissipates into the sky, and you suddenly feel better.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Agari, I owe you very much so.
Don't touch dead things.
You got it.
A goblin raised by wolves was just saved and cured by a wolfkin.
I put away my ear cutting knife.
Mordeth is just like itching. It's like, that's money. That's money on his head. So as you guys continue on past the dead body and down the trail, you see on the horizon what looks like a small village. This isn't like the Hollows. There's no small palisade running around it or stone wall. It's just kind of completely open. There's farmlands surrounding it. Nothing too crazy. Again, not like the Hollows where there was just like tracks and tracks of fertile land all around it. There's just like small fields surrounding this very tiny village. You see there's maybe, a dozen houses in it. It's very, very small. You can see some people milling about, and it's just on the edge of this great forest that opens up behind it.
I mean, I guess we keep going. Unless anyone else... Boy, howdy. We've got a motley crew.
You've got a goblin, an orc, a wolfkin, a halfling, a dwarf, and a half-elf. Sounds about right. Sounds safe to me.
And a human raven sister.
Yes.
Is that an NPC or a PC
that's
not here?
That is an NPC that's with you, the raven sister who's guiding you to her sect or her kin to find out more about this artifact that you have. That I want to say.
I just haven't even bothered talking to her, I guess.
Yeah, you're just like...
She probably just creeps him out.
Whatever. I'm trying to find my map to see what land you're... Okay, you're still... Ooh, okay. Very good, very good.
How much more do we have in the tank here? Should we stop in the village for the night?
You guys could travel on for another 2 squares, but you do have a village in front of you, and you have not seen signs of a village or town or anything for, about a day and a half now. So this is the first signs you've seen of civilization, other than the abandoned, maybe haunted cabin.
Are we supposed to be marking off provisions and stuff each day? I mean, if so, we could probably resupply, spend the night there.
You are, and because this is our first leg of travel, you've just reminded me, so thank you. So we got to start tracking that. But yes, you could stop here and resupply. Oh, look at you guys rolling your consumables.
I was going to say earlier, I described my character as having a short bow. That's actually incorrect. I had the sling, which I described correctly earlier, so I just wanted to correct that.
When you slung a rocket.
Yeah.
A dead body. Look at you guys rolling your food and water, and you're doing just fine. You're not going down a die type at all.
How do I do that? Click the die symbol.
Yeah, click the die symbol. So Raedric goes down to a D4.
Oh, there's a D4?
I don't think so. I think you just run out.
You're just out.
Damn it, I drank all my water.
Well, you stopped by a stream earlier. Hopefully there's a well in this village.
Well, what does mine mean?
Yours means you're fine. Your dies stay the same.
Okay.
If it's a 1 or a 2, your die drops.
Drops a die type. And Bonham, I didn't program yours on there for you. But you're fine.
I can get water for anyone if they need.
I think they're all good. Well, Bonham just lost some.
It might be goblin piss, but I don't know.
Bonham just keeps rolling.
What?
So you guys
hungry.
continue on into this village. So you ride your wagon into the village. You see people milling about. There's the odd person here and there, and they look at you kind of like, oh my god, like they're kind of taken aback by the sight of your motley crew. And you pull into the middle of the village, and you're approached by a rather large man with a long, wispy mustache, and he's he waddles on over to you. Well, welcome to Harbortown. What brings you here?
Stuff.
What?
Stuff. We need things.
What sort of stuff?
Traveling things. Wood, torches, food, water.
Well, we have those things here. We could definitely help you if you have some coin. You have coin, don't you?
I have 6 silver.
Oh, please come this way. And he starts motioning you towards a barn to put your horses in, or a stable, I should say, a stable to put your horses in, where you could park your wagon. Oh, please, come with me. My name is Hubert. Welcome to Harperstown. 6 silver, you say? And he kind of twirls his mustache, his finger in his mustache.
Yes, I've collected it over the years, selling furs and different things made out of animals.
Oh, where's your end destination? Nobody comes to Harperstown to visit or stay. It is usually a layover.
Our destination is our own, friend.
Okay. Well, your money's good here. We don't have an inn or anything of the sort, or a tavern or anything. We're just a small village. Farmers, we look after ourselves and our own. So we could offer you spare beds in our houses, or if you'd like to stay together, you could gladly stay in a stable or barn.
Do you have any flat, dry ground where I can set up a tent?
Yes. And he just kind of points off
All
beside
I
the
need.
stable.
How about an inn that sells alcohol for the rest of us?
Well, there's no inns here, but I'll tell you what, Stefan, he's got some pretty good hooch that he makes. We could go get some from him.
Ooh.
You asking about the drink? You have money, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good. Silver?
An unspecific amount. Smiles.
Silver? Like this one?
Some?
Okay. Yes. Are you looking to drink now, or do you want to rest? How long and how far have you traveled from?
What was the town we came from again?
The Hollows.
The Hollows?
The Hollow. From the Hollows. They
Oh!
are setting up a very lucrative deal with the dwarves. They're going to be a great destination place soon. If you need some great beer, I'm sure they're going to be churning it out.
I'm looking at the map here. Yes, so the water system does run through here, and he was setting up his distribution there on water. He goes, we have had some of that delicious beer. Do you have some on you? That is the greatest ale I've ever tried in my life.
Actually, I think we do.
I think you do.
Man.
I'm pretty sure you guys had some.
I'd like to roll.
Yes, I have 2 skins that are specifically from that town.
He starts licking his lips and, that might be better than money. What did you want to roll, Bottom?
I was gonna say, can I roll manipulation a little bit to? We throw in some beer. I'll put on a performance for the village, and maybe you give us a discount on lodgings and supplies and some of that hooch you got.
Yeah, go for it. Manipulation. You're trying
It's
to
kind of like
bargain here.
Kind of like diplomacy, I guess. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like bargaining with.
Bargain, barter. You're trying to get more stuff with less, right? That's what you're going for.
Yeah, and I'm tossing in like a sweet drumming performance with these guys. We got a lot of things going on.
Oh, are we doing a performance, or are we doing a manipulate?
No, I'm trying to throw that in as a deal because I've probably done enough drumming for one.
We can do a manipulate, and go ahead and make me that roll. Okay. And what were you proposing? Lodging, hard alcohol, and what? Provisions for some of the beer?
Yeah, and just trying to get a good deal for whatever he's offering us money wise.
For the beer and some coin.
And some coin. How much coin?
But less coin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a renowned minstrel across these lands. I'm gonna do a great performance for your village. You know, we're giving you some of this tasty craft beer. Like, least you could do is knock a couple silver off the. Have you seen this drum? This drum is bigger than me. Let's get it on.
He goes, yes, this little one is very persuasive. That ale is very good. I've had it once before, and we are so far removed from the Hollows that who knows when we'll see some again. I'll don't tell the others that you have this, okay? That's just between us, you and Hubert, okay? And I will set you up with lodging for the night. I will talk to Stefan, and you give me that one of your 2 skins.
Certainly. As a show of good faith in trade, have one.
He's just licking his lips and he reaches out for it. Oh, I'll be back. You stay here, and I'll be right back. And he waddles off, very happy. Right away he walks into a house, and then he makes his way out right away. You can only assume that it's his house, and he's hiding his skin full of Yawim's renowned beer. Yeah, Bazio's just engrossed in setting up his tent, and he comes back after a few moments, and he's got a couple of jugs for you guys that are corked, and they got some X's on them, and here Stefan's best. This has been aging for some time, and you're more than welcome to. Would you like to stay here in the stable? Or like I said, I could find you lodgings in various houses. You'd have to stay in people's guest rooms and such, but you wouldn't be able to stay together.
Is the stable pretty spacious?
It's very spacious. There's even a hayloft up top.
Oh, this is fine.
Dibs on the loft.
The loft is large. Unless
large?
Agari wants it to himself.
Oh, I'll share. Fine.
Agari's a snore. We put him up there.
Yeah, right? So, you guys want to settle in here, and you guys start kind of calling spots, and you're walking around town, so you start to kind of get a lay of the land. And like I said, there's maybe a dozen little houses here, and it looks like it's a very self-sufficient little village. There's not a lot to it.
Have a public house, huh? No trade house, no public house, nothing.
Nothing. This looks like it's kind of like the end of the road leading on was kind of back at the stream, and you guys kind of went off the beaten path. You're on a little dirt road. It's not as well maintained to head over here, but you are now at the edge of the Arena Forest, which is where you're heading into. You want to go in there to meet up with this Raven sister somewhere that you're being led on this, I don't know, goose chase? You guys are pretty confident in her.
Raven Chase.
Yeah, Raven chase. You're pretty confident in her and where she was leading you. So, after you kind of walk around, you see the people, you see that they're pretty self-sufficient. They hunt a lot in the woods nearby, hunt game in there. It looks like it's very, very well kept with game. And people kind of look at you as you mill about, you make your way around. You can tell that you're obviously outsiders, and they don't see a lot of travelers this way, especially ones of your ilk, being the motley crew that you are.
So who's the most normal looking person?
In your
Oh,
group?
definitely Agari.
Yeah, in my group.
No, it's Mornath.
Mornath. Okay, I'm going to approach Mornath after setting up my tent, or look for him.
Mornath or Raedric, I'd say, are the most normal looking out of the group.
All right, Raedric's more approachable to me. He sees more eye to eye. What? It was self-deprecating too. I'm short. But yeah, I approached Raedric. Hello, good dwarven sir. I was possibly wondering if you could do me a favor.
What's up?
Could you?
feel like a friendly bearded face such as yourself might be a little more, I don't know, appealing, or it might make the people in this village a little more comfortable to speak to. Anyway, I digress. I wanted to get you to ask them if they had seen any giant lizards that shoot lightning out of their mouths nearby.
Okay.
Yes, I'm mainly just curious because I'm hunting the last one of its kind. I call him One Eye, or at least that's how I've heard his name was. It's gonna be No Eye when I'm done with him.
I can I do it in the morning?
Yes, that's a good time. After eggs.
I'm going to sleep.
You're a very sleepy dwarf.
It is.
No.
I'm trying to think. You guys. Yeah. So it's. So we're quarter days. Yeah. You guys did 2 quarter days. You waited for a quarter day. So it's actually it's nighttime now.
My goblin runs too hot. He only sleeps about 4 hours.
So as you guys are kind of making your way around, just kind of getting the lay of the land, just kind of looking around. You guys make your way back to the stable, and as you do so, you see you get to the stable, you open the door, and Hubert is in there, and he's kind of like going through your belongings, and you guys have the things that you've collected along your journeys, and he will say there's a dagger or a short sword. I know you guys have collected a number of weapons, and he's kind of like he's holding it, and he's looking it over, and he's kind of like looking on. He doesn't see you guys come in. Marnith, arrow to the back.
Yeah. Agari calls out, "What you doing, buddy?"
He's startled. He drops it. He turns. Oh, I'm so sorry. I saw the weapons hang from your belts, and I was just.
And you thought these would be good people to steal from?
No,
That's a good.
no, nothing like that. He's he's backing up and
choice.
stepping away from you, Agari, and he's clearly intimidated and embarrassed. No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. No.
What then?
Well, there's been some trouble around here recently, and I thought maybe I could borrow some of your belongings and maybe help the village, be a hero and all.
Who's bothering the village?
Well, there's how do I put this? The dead have started to rise, and we fear the necromancer is back in his tower nearby again.
Well, question. So, magic and fire only works on ghosts, but what about other kinds of dead?
You have fought skeletons before?
Did we
Oh, wait,
fight
you guys-
skeletons?
Well,
We fought we did. We
there
did
were
fight
skeletons-
the skeletons, and they were fine.
Yeah, with the Death Knight.
Death Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 4 guards or whatever. So yes, you have fought skeletons before.
Does this have anything to do with the Rust brothers by any chance?
He looks at you. Not as far as I know, but are there a Rust brother there? We could send a Rust brother to investigate the necromancer.
Funny you should mention that. We happen to see a dead one not far from your village. You wouldn't know anything about?
A dead Rust brother? That is a terrible omen. What happened to him?
Bazio, you want to handle that?
Well, do I remember anything about his wounds or anything?
He was distorted. He was like mangled from the birds and the animals that have been picking away at him, but his skin was all kind of like diseased and boils and stuff on it from whatever virus he had. It didn't look like he was in too good shape.
I believe he died from whatever sickness I had contracted from. Checking to see if he was still alive.
You contracted a disease from the Dead Rest Brother?
Oh, I'm fine now. I recovered.
Goblins
are quite resilient, you see. We're actually almost immune to disease.
Yeah.
And I wink at him after I say that because I'm really bad at lying. I always wink after I lie.
He goes, yeah, I've heard that about goblins. I've heard that about them. And he shakes his head and he's convinced by this. So, what did you do with the body?
Left it.
Oh! You left it.
Agari steps forward. Because this is going to get really bad really quick.
I immediately step back and bow.
Where's the necromancer?
Well, there's if you go into the woods and you head northwest from here, you will find there's a tower, an old dilapidated tower. That was the necromancer's home. He disappeared years ago, decades ago. But with these strange occurrences, we fear he's back.
What strange occurrences?
Well, the dead rising.
Oh, I thought that was common around here. Last city we were in that was like, had been going on for generations.
He's taken aback, like, the dead walk amongst the people for generations? That is terrifying.
Yeah, they got a whole system, something to do with bells and saying a little phrase and staying to the sidewalks and streets. Yeah, they've come quite accustomed to it.
Well, we have not come accustomed, especially we do not want a necromancer for a neighbor. For the two players who weren't here previously, the first Town of the Hollows, the dead did walk the streets, and they had to ring a bell at night and say a little poem, and the dead would leave you alone. And it was just like a way of life there.
That's terrifying.
So that's what Mornith is referring to. This is legit. He's not making it up.
Your problem with necromancy is a little... It's understandable.
Well,
listen, I don't see this town having much to offer in the way of payment, though.
Well,
if we were to handle this necromancer...
Yeah, you're... I see what you're saying. So you'd expect some kind of compensation other than, helping a village kill a death mage. Okay.
Yes, we're not exactly the most compassionate bunch, at least myself.
We're not a charity.
Well, I'll be right back. And he scuttles away out of the barn and goes back into the house he went to earlier where he put his ale away. And he's in there for a while, and you can hear like something heavy being dragged across the floor and some banging and things like that. And he comes back out to the barn. He's carrying a small chest, and he plumps it down on the ground. It hits with a thud, and he opens up the lid of the chest, and there's jewels, and there's money, and there's like a little crown in there. And he goes, I can pay you. You rid us of the necromancer, and this is yours.
Agari turns to his compatriot. You guys interested in a scrap?
What?
Want to kill a necromancer?
Oh, I thought you were going to kill this guy.
No.
You guys
no.
interested in a scrap? Kill him, run away. Thanks, sucker.
Let's hold up for a second though. Like, Agari, you might want to just eat this guy. Like, how does a village of 12 people with no discernible industry get all this money? Like, there's something going on here. Like, Agari, you want to just eat this guy?
Uber's like, no. It handed down by the generations.
Generations.
I think we should try to arrest the necromancer for a change of pace.
We're not police
Ooh.
officers.
That doesn't change the fact we can make a citizen's arrest.
I mean, if we brought him to a Rust Brother, the Rust Brothers would execute him anyway.
Lol. I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys make an insight roll?
All of us?
Ooh.
Fun stuff.
Wait, what are you rolling?
Insight.
Oh,
Group
no.
roll.
That's
Where
real
is...
bad.
Where is insight? I can't find it. Insight.
I'm a very insightful
There you
Oh,
go.
insight. There
bastard.
it is. Roll.
Oh, good job.
Bosio
Oh,
and
yeah.
Raytrick. So when he's like, "Oh, it's passed down through the generations. It's heirlooms." You're like, "Buddy, there's no way this wealth came from these families, and you're not buying it."
Well, whenever you decide to tell the truth about where you got all this loot, I will gladly hear you out. In the meantime, I'm going to go cook some meat, probably. I don't know. Especially since you're just kind of dicking us around and not telling us an accurate depiction.
Okay, it's it's half true. It was handed down. But we it may not have come into our being by the most and he does the quote unquote legal means.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Oh, well then if you don't care where it came from, then you'll kill the necromancer and this will be yours.
You stole it from that fucking Rust brother, didn't you?
No, we didn't steal nothing from the Rust brother.
Insight check.
Yeah, you can make me another insight check.
Hey, Gary, just eat this guy. I'm done with this.
To be honest, I'd rather check out this necromancer. That sounds like a fun time.
Yes, yes. Although I am actually looking for a giant lizard that could shoot lightning out of its mouth and spark.
Then he just starts babbling on.
Yeah. When you mention this thing, Uber kind of stops and he goes, we've heard legends of such things. When we've been hunting in the forests here, we've seen giant tracks that we can't explain, and the elders say it is similar to the old thunder lizards that walked this land long ago.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Do you mind drawing me a map, good sir?
To where the prints were found?
Yes.
Yes, gladly. Will you rid us of this thing as well?
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't have any more gold to give you for that.
How does everyone feel about me mounting the head of a necromancer on my cabin as well?
Wonderful.
Nothing wrong with taxidermy.
Maybe it's a bit much. I don't know.
Oh,
Do goblins know what the word taxidermy means?
This this goblin was actually I actually worked for a noble for a while as like his personal like beast hunter. So like I learned like that's why I have like a decent vocabulary.
He rolled it up pure random. He was raised by wolves in the early part of his life, but then he worked for a noble as his like official huntsman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a life experiences there.
So he is a rather well put together, well spoken goblin. You guys are actually surprised.
I even have a last name.
And he speaks the ancient tongue too.
He does.
Except when I do it, I sound like a chihuahua and not a wolf.
Well, we normally go on for another hour here, but Agari has to call it a night. So I said we were only going to do a 2-hour session. Unfortunately, tonight. So we're coming up on the close, but we'll be back next week with a full crew again, and with another new player, a new permanent player to the mix, and hopefully Grit Snub will be back as well.
We'll have a girl.
And yeah, girl. Oh my.
Sweet.
God.
And we will carry on, and maybe we will investigate this quote unquote necromancer in the forests above as you guys continue on to your real destination.
Goodness.
Excellent. This was awesome. Thank you for letting me play.
No, it was awesome to have you here. Not a lot happened in our 2 hours, I feel, but hopefully you guys had a good time. We did a lot of random rolls, and we found another. There she is. There's our new player. You guys are great, she says. Our great session. Yeah, perfect. Hopefully you guys had a good time. We did a lot of hex crawling this week. More hex crawling than we normally do, but we found another town, or village, I should say. And another little place to investigate come next week.
And a necromancer head to mount on a wall.
And a necromancer head
in the closet.
And possibly a thunder lizard? Question mark?
It's a necromancer. Maybe it'll still talk.
What if they're the same person?
Don't forget about the nose spikes.
God.
What nose spikes?
The thunder lizard.
Oh.
All right, very good. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and watched us tonight. We had a couple of new followers. We had a whole bunch this week to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the followers. Again, if you guys like the content here, please consider subscribing. I would be ever so grateful for that, and we will keep pumping out the content. And thank you to my players for playing. As always, I had a great time, and I love this game, so we're just going to keep on rolling with it.
Woo!
Have a good night, everybody.